course, it was no surprise to me that Dan Cohen suddenly showed up on Daniel Dumbrill's channel, and Daniel had mocked me when I said, okay, I know what's going on here. You're connected to the Gray Zone gang. So this is Dan Cohen. So who did it better? Who does it better? Dan Cohen or a blobfish? Who does it better? Dan Cohen or a blobfish? So I'll show you Dan again here. That's Dan Cohen. And that's the blobfish. So who did it better? Who does it better? Anyway, going back to Max Blumenthal. So all of these guys, Max and Dan Cohen and Anya Parampil,
they were making a big deal about that Donald Trump had retweeted Max. And I pointed out, well, Donald Trump would not have retweeted Max Blumenthal if he were just a regular guy, ordinary guy, just a guy, alternative media guy. No.
He was complaining in this video that his critics are like contract killers and mercenaries, like pretty, just exaggerating. And he talks about when he got arrested recently, and he says he lives in the poorest part of D.C., the 4th Ward. I looked up the 4th Ward. That's like in the northwest, very affluent area. I don't know what he's talking about. He's just lying. He's connected. He's got money. Never any money problems. Goes to these cocktail parties and travels in elite circles. He claims he's been blacklisted, and how can he be, if he's blacklisted, how come he appears on Fox News and Anya appears on Fox News? He claims the FBI is going to arrest the Gray Zone assets, that they're persecuted like Julian Assange, the Assange reference. So he doesn't really mention, who he really is. He never talks about this. He's dead inside. He's a fraud. So in this video, amazingly enough, Daniel Dumbrill says nothing when Max Blumenthal sneaks in disinformation. And Daniel sneaks in disinformation too. So they talk about 9/11, and Daniel talks about some epiphany moment of his where he saw a debate between Ron Paul, Libertarian Ron Paul, and Rudy Giuliani about 9/11, and how Ron Paul said, 9/11 was revenge for, it was a consequence of U.S. foreign policy.
So he's pushing the official narrative that there's Uyghurs are experiencing massive repression and massive surveillance, and he doesn't talk about the radicalization of the Uyghurs by the West, U.S. and Israel and others, to destabilize China. He doesn't distract from that. And Daniel doesn't correct him or anything. Another thing, I could not believe that he says, okay, he talks about the U.S. and its global war crimes, I guess. War crimes, regime change operations around the world. And then at the end he says, but Russia and China commit human rights abuses in smaller neighboring countries along their frontiers. And I'm going, what the heck? So he's pushing this human rights abuses thing. He accuses Russia and China of committing human rights abuses in neighboring countries. Sneaks that in. He's a real snake in the grass. So people think he's all progressive, but he's fake left. He and Daniel push identity politics big time. So Daniel will talk about racism in Hong Kong and the prejudice against the bigotry towards people in Hong Kong, mainland, Chinese from the mainland who speak Mandarin, or